12 Rules for Life. Peterson frames human life as a dance between two primal forces, chaos and order. Order represents stability, tradition, and predictability. Chaos represents the unknown, change, and potential destruction. Too much order leads to tyranny and stagnation, while too much chaos brings fear and collapse. The good life, he argues, lies in navigating the balance. His 12 rules are not arbitrary tips, they are principles for orienting yourselves in this precautionary balance. So you can create meaning and shoulder the responsibility of existence. Rule number one, stand up straight with your shoulders back. Peterson starts with lobsters. Yes, lobsters. He explains that dominance hierarchies are ancient and biological, not just human inventions. Lobsters fight for territory, and the winner gets serotonin boosts while losers shrink away, becoming passive. Humans, he argues, are no different. Postures and confidence signal status, and your body language influences your brain chemistry. By standing up straight with shoulders back, you embody confidence, which makes others treat you with more respect, which reinforces your confidence. It is a feedback loop. The rule isn't just about posture, it's about confronting life with strength, rejecting victimhood, and signaling yourself and others that you are capable of facing challenges. Rule number two, treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. Peterson notes that people often take better care of their pets than themselves. Why? Because self loathing and neglect are common. We don't value our own well being as much as we should. This rule insists that you must see yourself as someone worthy of care. Imagine you are tasked with looking after a loved one. Feed them properly, give them rest, encourage them. Now, apply that same standard to yourself. Behind this is a theological argument. Humans are made in the image of God. So, neglecting yourself is disrespectful to that divine spark. On a psychological level, it's about self compassion, treating yourself with the same seriousness you afford others. Rule number three, make friends with people who want the best for you. Many people keep toxic relationships out of guilt, habit, or fear of loneliness. Peterson warns that association with those who drag you down sabotages your own growth. If your friends enable your weaknesses, laugh at your goals, or encourage destructive habits, they are not friends, they are anchors. Instead, surround yourself with people who genuinely want you to succeed, who celebrate your victories and challenge you to grow. Relationships shape behavior. The wrong ones pull you into chaos, while the right ones help you build order and resilience. Rule number four, compare yourselves to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. Modern life makes comparisons inescapable. Social media ensures you always see someone richer, smarter, or more attractive. But Peterson points out that comparison is only useful if it's with yourselves. The question is not, am I better than them? But, am I better than what I was? By shifting focus to your own incremental progress, you avoid resentment and despair. Improvement is relative. If you are moving forward compared to your past self, you are succeeding. This perspective fosters gratitude and realistic ambition instead of endless envy. Rule number 5, do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. This rule sounds harsh, but Peterson's point is pragmatic. Children need boundaries. If parents fail to discipline, the child grows into an adult who is rejected by society. Misbehaving children strain everyone: teachers, friends, strangers, and ultimately themselves. Discipline is not cruelty, it's guidance. Parents must love their children enough to set clear rules, enforce them consistently, and teach responsibility. Allowing chaos in childhood guarantees misery later. A child who learns respect, self control, and empathy grows into an adult who can thrive in order. Rule number 6, set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world. Before railing against political corruption, inequality, or failures of society, Peterson says, take a look at your own life. Are you managing responsibilities well? Are you caring for your health, relationships, and environment? Chaos in your personal world undermines your authority to fix the external world. This is not an excuse to ignore injustice. It's a call to start where you have power. Clean your room, so to speak, before trying to reorganize the universe. By confronting your own mess, you earn the moral right and strength to comfort larger problems. Rule number 7, pursue what is meaningful. This is one of the book's most philosophical chapters. Peterson contracts expediency, short term gratification, easy wins, avoidance of responsibility with meaning, which often involves sacrifice, discipline, and long term vision. He argues that life is inherently suffering. Since you cannot avoid pain, the only path that gives life dignity is meaning. Meaning comes from responsibilities, raising children, building communities, contributing to something larger than yourselves. Chasing expediency, pleasure, shortcuts, self indulgence leads to emptiness. Pursuing meaning through harder builds resilience and purpose. Rule number 8, tell the truth, or at least don't lie. Lies warp reality. When you lie, you construct a false world for yourselves and others, and that falsehood inevitably collapses. Peterson insists that truth aligns you with reality, giving you a stable foundation to build upon. Telling the truth does not mean brutal honesty at all times, but it does mean refusing to manipulate reality through falsehood. If you can't tell the full truth, at least refuse to lie. Silence is sometimes wiser than deception. Lies breed resentment, corruption, and chaos. Truth, though difficult, brings clarity and strength. Rule number 9, assume that the person you are listening to might know something you don't. Peterson highlights the arrogance of assuming you already know everything. Real conversation requires humility, the willingness to listen and learn. When you treat others as potential teachers, you expand your perspective. Good listening is not waiting for your turn to talk, it's genuinely engaging with the possibility that the other person has insight. Even flawed or misguided people may hold pieces of truth you lack. This rule cultivates wisdom through dialogue. Rule number 10, be precise in your speech. Vague words create vague problems. If you don't name what's wrong, you can't fix it. Saying, I feel bad is less useful than saying, I feel anxious because I haven't finished my work. Precision exposes the real issue, making solutions possible. Imprecise speech hides problems, festers resentment, and creates unnecessary conflict. In relationships, vague accusations like you never listen escalate arguments. Precise communication, I feel ignored when you check your phone while I talk, invites constructive resolution. Language shapes reality. Clarity in speech creates clarity in life. Rule number 11, do not bother children when they are skateboarding. This chapter, one of the most controversial, defends risk taking, especially for boys. Peterson argues that society increasingly overprotects children, stifling their ability to develop resilience and courage. Skateboarding is symbolic, dangerous but developmental. Children learn competence, bravery, and independence through risk. He criticizes ideologies that try to erase differences between the sexes, arguing that boys in particular need spaces to test themselves. Overprotection breeds weakness, while exposure to manage risk breeds strength. Let children fall, scrape, and rise again. It prepares them for adult chaos. Rule number 12, pet a cat when you encounter one on the street. The final rule is tender. Life is suffering. Peterson admits this personally, referencing his daughter's chronic illness. Amid unavoidable pain, moments of grace matter. Petting a cat is a metaphorical for noticing small joys, sunlight on leaves, music, laughter, companionship. You cannot eliminate tragedy, but you can soften it by embracing beauty in fleeting moments. Rule 12 is a reminder of humility and gratitude. When life is overwhelming, ground yourself in simple pleasures. Across the rules, several times themes recur. Responsibilities, taking ownership of your life is central. Blaming the world, parents, or systems may hold truth, but it doesn't change your reality. Responsibility empowers. Order and chaos. Life requires balance. Too much control suffocates, too little destabilizes. Habits, discipline, and truth create order. Creativity and courage navigate chaos. Meaning over happiness. Peterson rejects happiness as a goal. Happiness is fleeting, meaning endures. Meaning arises from responsibility and sacrifice. Truth as foundation. Lies corrode, while truth, however painful, strengthens. Precision and honesty align you with reality. Critics. The book is polarizing. Admirers find it wise, practical, and deeply moving. Critics accuse it of meandering prose, unnecessary biblical references, and conservational undertones. Some say the advice is just common sense dressed in grand language. Yet, its success suggests that many readers crave precisely this mix of myth, psychology, and blunt rules. The writing, dense at times, forces reflection rather than skimmable consumption. Let's get to conclusion, an antidote to chaos. 12 Rules for Life is Peterson's attempt to help individuals find meaning in an often overwhelming world. Its message is not life is easy if you do these tricks. Instead, it's life is suffering, but responsibility, truth, and discipline make it bearable and even beautiful. Each rule is a strategy for craving order from chaos, not by erasing hardships, but by meeting it with courage. The rules, when stripped of complexity, are straightforward. Face life upright. Care for yourself. Choose good company. Measure your own progress. Discipline your children. Clean your room. Pursue meaning. Tell the truth. Listen. Speak precisely. Embrace risk and savor beauty. Together, they form a philosophy. To live well is to accept suffering, shoulder responsibilities, and seek meaning in the fragile balance of chaos and order.